I'm Gomez from Classic Rock TK99 and TK105, the flagship station for SU basketball, along with Stephen Fonte from News Channel 9 in Orange Nation. Say hi, Steve.
Hello, everyone. Glad you could come. Glad the guys are here, and looking forward to the next hour or so. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. We've got some questions and answers. Then we'll have a chance to get some pictures and some autographs with the guys. But before that, let's say hi to all the guys up here. Let's see, Malik Brown, Chris Bell, Coach Adrian Red Autry, JJ Starling, Kyle Cuff, and Justin Taylor there on the far side. So welcome. So we can just get this started again. We'll have some questions. Steve and I will get this thing started. But if you have questions, Paulie from ESPN is also out in the audience. He's got a roving microphone, so if you just raise your hand, and we'll get to you, and then Paulie will have a microphone for you. So as we get started and chat and here with everybody, if you have a question, you're free to ask the question. And the coach will just start with Red Autry. 9 games in, Coach. This would be like your oral report to the class. What are you happy with right now, and what are some of the things that you're going to be working on?
Well, I'll start with, if we got time, the things that we need to work on. No, I'm happy with these guys. We got together in July and putting in a whole new system on both sides of the ball, and they've worked really hard. And I think if you watched all the games from the exhibitions and up until game 9, I think you've seen progress. We've really seen progress on the defensive side of the ball. Offense is still coming together, but these guys have been working hard. They give me everything they have, pretty much every day. Not every day, but pretty much every day. We're getting it every day, and but it's been fun. They all have the chip that they need to have, so we're just excited, and we keep getting better, and that's what we talk about each day, is getting better each day.
Malik, since you're sitting right next to me, I want to start with you. 28 minutes last night, did not score, but you had your imprints all over that game, right? 12 rebounds, steals, getting on the floor. Can you talk a little bit about your mindset and, how it's not necessarily all about what's in the point total for you, but you find a lot of different ways to impact the game, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. Just coming off the bench, having a mindset, trying to help my teammates out as much as I can. So if it's on the offensive end, defensive end, just doing the little things, just trying to be on the positive end for the team.
For JJ down on the end from Baldwinsville, New York, JJ Starling. I love hearing that in the JMA Wireless Dome. And JJ, talk about growing up in Baldwinsville, coming to the Dome to watch Syracuse basketball, watching them on TV, and then that first moment this year when you heard your name come over the loudspeaker and you came out to the court to play for the Orange.
Yeah, it's an amazing feeling. Like you said, growing up here, I came to a few games when I was smaller, and I pictured myself playing in the Dome multiple times, and then actually having the opportunity to do so is just an amazing feeling. I'm in front of my family, my friends, and I haven't been able to do that since I was in high school, so this is an amazing opportunity for me, and it's just been a great atmosphere so far.
Kyle, I want to bring you into the conversation. You've had the opportunity to play in 2 of the most iconic venues in the country as a home player, right? At Kansas and now, at Fog Allen Fieldhouse and now inside the Dome at Syracuse. Can you kind of compare those 2 places? And you really haven't seen the Dome like it gets yet. I mean, you haven't seen 30,000 yet, but can you compare playing at Fog Allen Fieldhouse to what it's like playing inside the Dome?
I want to say there's no place like the Dome. I feel like it's an amazing place to play at, and the fans, they love us. The fans love you everywhere when you're at the home crowd, but I feel like the fans here, they're so much more nicer. They're so much more like family. So.
Much more nicer.
I got a question, I guess, for Red, but really any one of you guys could answer. It's a question from my neighbor's son, RJ. He wants to know, when you guys go on the road, where does Naheem sleep?
I'm not going to answer that question. No.
All 7'4" of them there.
Nah, all of our players have rooms when we sleep. So when we go on the road. So typically, sometimes they have a roommate, sometimes they don't. I think when we travel within our conference, no roommates, so they all have their own room.
And as far as like the bet, he's 7'4". Like is that ever an issue?
I mean, if it is, he didn't say that. I'm sure it's not nothing. I'm sure it's not nothing new to him.
I think he's probably got a duck when he goes in his hotel room, right?
Yeah.
I would think. Chris, I want to bring you into the conversation. You've been shooting the basketball awfully well lately. Can you talk a little bit about your progression and development from year one to year two, from your freshman year to your sophomore year? You seem a lot more comfortable out there this year.
I would just say trying to find my spots, just being confident. Definitely being out there more. I would say I feel like I'm playing a lot more this year. Being able to, play through my mistakes, and definitely being able to learn out there. I feel like last year was a learning point for me. For a lot of freshmen around the country, I feel like it was. And, coming in my second year, I'm just more confident and just looking for my shots, that's all.
Hey, Coach, it was great seeing last night Coach Fran Brown introduced to the crowd at the JMA Wireless Dome during a game against Cornell. And I know during his press conference on Monday, he mentioned the importance of welcoming in the alumni and bringing them back and inviting them back into the locker room, into the practices to be part of the culture. And it seems to me for the basketball team, that's always been pretty much an open door kind of policy, seeing some of the older guys, past players come back in. And I remember this summer seeing a video, and I think it was Jeremy Grant who had come back to talk to the guys. How important is that for the guys, and how do they take that information in, or do they learn from those experiences talking to those guys?
I think it's extremely important, just because they are, those former guys, they put the uniform on, they have the same experiences as these guys are experiencing now. So, I have my story, but sometimes, these guys that come back, our former players, they have their own stories that can connect with guys in different ways. When Jeremy came back, I thought it was a great moment for him to talk with our guys, because now he's a guy that's considered one of the elite players in the NBA that came from Syracuse, that worked out with me, that was part of the program and part of the same coaching staff. To see him do it, I think it gives these guys some confidence and hope that, hey, you do it and you work, you can achieve those goals just like he did, coming from Syracuse.
And I think maybe in that same session, you said that you had to get there at 6 in the morning to open up, because that's the time Jeremy was expecting to get in and start working out for the day.
Yeah, he was relentless. My kids were younger then, so I can get out early. But he was, you hear about stories like this, and again, this is the God's honest truth. He would text me after every practice. I would get home around 7:30. He would say, "What time are we going tomorrow?" 5:30, 5:45, or 6. And then we would work out after practice. So, I mean, he was one of the, first guys that, showed me once he left here what it took and the work ethic and the focus that you had to have to make it to that level.
Justin, I want to bring you into the conversation. I asked Chris a moment ago about his development from year one to year two. As a freshman, you were a role player, maybe didn't get the kind of minutes that you were hoping for, but you kept working hard, and here you are, a starter, a key piece to the puzzle this year. Could you speak to, I guess, your growth as a player, both on and off the court, as a person as well, from freshman year to sophomore year?
Yeah, I think freshman year kind of allowed me to have some experience on the court and to get used to playing with the guys and in the college system, and now I'm just being more aggressive out there. Like Chris said, getting more time and always hunting for my shot, and just kind of being more confident and aggressive out there. And that comes with experience from last year. I think I learned a lot last year as a freshman, and gained some experience, and that's just helping me out throughout this year.
Red, you mentioned your experience playing at the Syracuse, and then obviously playing professionally, and then coming back to coach. When you were recruited, talk to us about that era, because what you have to do now recruiting is a lot different than when you were being recruited, when you were in high school and ended up obviously coming to play for Syracuse. What was that process like, being recruited then compared to what you go through now?
Well, one, we didn't have cell phones, so it was a home phone, and you had to do in-person visits more. You communicated by letters, and if the coach showed up to your high school, then you knew you were being recruited. So a lot of things were more personal in that aspect. And at that time, when I was coming up, college, that was where you wanted to go, and you wanted to be there. And during my years, that was the beginning, not the beginning, but in the height of the Big East. And back then, the Big East was the only conference that had like that major exposure. So everybody wanted to play, on TV. You wanted to go to the Big East. And Syracuse, what was, top tier, 1 or 2 playing for conference championships, Big East tournament championships, along with, other schools that we won't name. But they were there a year in and year out. So, that's when Coach Boeheim called me. It was pretty much a done deal. I took some visits, but I kind of knew where I wanted to go. And when I took the visit up here, it felt like home. And, shortly after that, I committed.
You mentioned the old school Big East. You've got an old school Big East opponent coming up next on Saturday. I'm not sure the guys sitting to your right or left understand what Syracuse-Georgetown meant. Does this game still mean a little bit more to you, Red, even though I know you're not in the same conference anymore? It's been a little bit, but does this one mean a little bit more to you?
Absolutely. That this game is huge. They'll hear about all of what this game and what this series is about tomorrow and for the rest of the day, and then the rest of the weeks leading up to the game on Saturday. And they won't understand it until they walk out into that gym Saturday morning. It doesn't matter what time that game was. It's going to be electric in there, and they'll see and they'll understand what this series means to so many people. It is one of the best rivalries in college basketball for years. And it's still getting there. Ed Cooley's doing a great job. And we both, I'm sure it'll be a really high energy game on Saturday.
Along those same lines, for Kyle and JJ, you two have a different perspective. JJ, obviously you grew up here. You're a young guy, but I'm sure you still remember maybe the end of that Syracuse-Georgetown rivalry in the Big East. And Kyle, I know you growing up in a family where your dad played Big East basketball. I'm curious to get the perspective of both of you on what Syracuse-Georgetown means to you, or what you guys know about the rivalry.
I'm not too sure about the Syracuse-Georgetown rivalry. All I know is that my dad told me that it's something big and it's one of the top rivalries in college basketball history. So I'm looking forward to playing a game like that where it's going to get gritty, the energy is going to be high, and then we're going to look to come out with the victory.
And JJ, how about you? I mean, did that mean anything to you growing up in Beeville, or was it more of, UConn was a big rival, or, did you pay more attention to Syracuse in the ACC?
Yeah, I definitely know about the rivalry, just given the fact that I, watched Syracuse. For me, that game means a lot, obviously. Like I said, it's a rivalry, but, I'm having the same mindset that I have every game, We want to come out, do what we do best, and win the game, so.
Red, do you have any specific SU Georgetown memory from your days and your games playing that rivalry game?
Yeah, beating them every time. No, obviously my last year, my senior day rather, because that game back then was played at CBS. Afternoon game, playing against, I forgot who they had that year. Then my first year, when we played, they had Dikembe Mutombo and Alonzo Mourning, and we went down there and beat them. And then my sophomore year, Dave Johnson hit the shot over Alonzo Mourning in the Big East tournament for the championship. So, it's always good memories of beating Georgetown.
If you have any questions for any of the guys, I know Paulie Sibilia with ESPN has got the roving microphone. If you have a question, you raise your hand. But Paulie, I think, has one right there.
Paulie has a question, yeah.
Coach, you are talking about all these old memories of Syracuse-Georgetown. This is to the players. Have you guys seen videotapes or YouTube videos of your coach playing, or Jerry or Griff? And did you know that your coach go through 31 points and a half in an NCAA tournament game also?
They don't know about my game. I tell them I beat them every time. They don't know about my game. JJ don't respect my game. I don't like that, man.
I didn't know he scored 31 and a half. I got to take notes, go back and watch that game.
I got to see the film on that one. I don't know about it.
But they
I got a triple-double, almost a triple-double. Coach Griff got a triple-double. So, you guys better read up.
That's right. Griff got a triple-double on his senior day, right? That was a triple-double.
Yeah. Coach Mack, what did he score, 40, 43 in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah.
Obviously, national championship. So I told you we could beat y'all.
Red, you mentioned Dave Johnson in there, and this was a story, and I think Coach may have relayed this to us a long time ago, but I could never verify it. But he said, this is Coach Boeheim at the time, saying that there was a practice at the Dome, and Dave Johnson hit a slam dunk so incredible, he called practice and sent everybody home. Is that true?
Oh, yeah. It was a pretty impressive one bounce, leaning in, Michael Jordan sideways, dunked on one of the players, and it was, you had to end practice on that. And but the guy that got dunked on, he didn't want practice to be over with. he threatened to beat everybody up if they left.
Can we say who that was? If you remember?
I think it was John Wallace.
Was it really?
Oh, yeah.
I happened to watch the game on TV last night. I had the night off, so I wasn't inside the Dome. So I'm watching the game on TV, and who pops up at halftime but Jim Boeheim is popping up at halftime as an analyst, talking about the game, and then he came on afterwards as well, breaking it all down. I'm sure a lot of folks here are wondering, I'm wondering myself, how much do you guys talk during the season?
He'll pop his head up every now and then. When he's around, he'll stop by practice, the beginning of practice, not too long. But, I probably see him, once or twice a week when he comes up to the office. We don't always talk about the team. Every now and then we'll talk about, the team or basketball or something like that. But he's been, when I've had questions to ask him and bounce some things off him, he's been right there to help me.
All right, for Malik and Chris sitting next to me here, what's it been like, that transition? Playing for Coach Boeheim last year, playing for Coach Autry this year. Obviously you worked with Coach Autry last year, but he's the man in charge now. What's that transition been like? And, what are the similarities and differences between the two guys?
Obviously, it's a lot of differences. With Coach Reyes still being there last year as an assistant, it's not too much different. We still got the same coaching staff, but Coach Boeheim, so we still got a lot of good mentors and stuff, team-wise, the coaches-wise, everybody's still on the same page. So it's definitely something that's been special from last year to this year. It's been a big jump, but I think we're all, focused and getting to the same page.
Chris, give me one thing that's different from last year to this year.
Man defense.
That's fair. Yep.
Again, if you have any questions that you have for the guys, Paulie will bring the microphone over, and there's a question. What's your first name?
Richie.
Richie, go ahead.
I have two questions, if you don't mind. But first question is for Coach Autry. What mandates have you implemented as head coach to address the necessity of winning the rebounding margin on both ends of the court?
We work on rebounding every day. But I think we've improved probably since coming back from Maui. I think we've out-rebounded our opponents for the most part since we've come back. But, we work on rebounding. I think these guys understand how important it is to rebound. And I think for our perimeter guys, I think they start to understand, the guards, how important it is for all five guys to rebound. It's not just for our big guys to rebound. So
That's definitely true. All right, last question. Any thoughts on changing the SU defensive mantra from a 2-3 zone to a 40-minute full-court press?
No. Do you see how good these guys are right now? I mean, you can't press people 40 minutes today. The skill level and the players are so much better now. I think when you had those, in that era, guys like Malik, they couldn't dribble, but now these guys can dribble and pass. We can run offense through a 6'9", 6'10" guy. They can also shoot. If you pressed us for 40 minutes, we would have a good time. We have an easy time scoring. I wish teams would press us 40 minutes because everyone up here can dribble, pass, and shoot. So the 40 minutes of pressing, those days are not here anymore. Skill level is these players are too good now.
Does that make the comeback against Colgate that much more impressive? I mean, you were down 24 in the second half, 16 minutes to go. To be able to flip the script the way you did, does that make it even more impressive?
Absolutely. But again, but it wasn't 40 minutes. It was 12 or 13 or 15 minutes. And it was situational where they were trying to hold on to a lead. You know, we got energy going. We created it. We sped them up a little bit, and they missed a couple shots that they were making earlier. And we rebounded and we got it out and got some easy baskets. Again, you know, 12, 10 minutes, that's really impressive to be able to press that long and come back and actually take a lead and win the game.
Yes.
Coach, guys, thanks for being here. You know, obviously a lot of rising sophomores on the team, some really talented transfers. So naturally there's some tinkering to be done with rotations and groups that you have playing together. So just curious from your coaching style, when you're subbing guys in and you have rotations, is it more just game feel, or do you guys dive into analytics, you know, plus minus as a group, or kind of how do you manage rotations and that type of thing?
You know, we use analytics in everything that we do. You know, we do have plus minus, but you know, for me, with these guys, you know, it's a feel, and it's what you do during that week of practice. The one thing I've always thought that made good teams is that competition and guys being able to rise up, you know, and step in and being able to go to your bench. And with this team right here, you know, I can literally play 10 guys, sometimes 11, depending on the game. That's a little bit hard to do at times, but you know, we use analytics, but analytics doesn't drive my decisions that much.
Next question.
Coach Autry, could you give us a timetable update on Chance Westry?
We're hopeful we'll have him sometime in January, but you know, you just never know. We're just hopeful. He's doing well. He's rehabbing every day, but we just don't have a clear timetable. But we're hopeful that we'll get him back, you know, sometime during this year.
Coach, I got a question for you. I was at the Virginia game, and I noticed the atmosphere there. How long do you think it's going to take us to get back to where we used to be?
I think we got to, you know, obviously winning brings everything back. And, you know, I think we can start by winning this game on Saturday. And, you know, I always think, you know, when you win, they'll come out. And we're the one community where we got loyal supporters. And the loyal supporters always come out. But I think, you know, when you win, I think you can bring some people with you then.
I have a question for Coach Autry. What made you want to be a coach?
I ask myself that all the time. No, you know, I think basketball has provided a lot for me. It allowed me to take care of my family. It allowed me to travel. It allowed me to grow. And there's so many lessons and things that basketball has allowed me to do. And once I finished playing, you know, I tried to get away from it, but it just kind of called me back. And I love being around the game. I love teaching the game, and I love having experiences and sharing experiences with these players right here as they go through their journey. And if I can help them, that's the reason why I coach, to try to help them achieve their goals and dreams, athletically, and from a personal standpoint.
Oh, another question there.
Hey, Coach, since both of us were Monday at the press conference, how about the impact of the new football coach?
What I heard Monday and the impact of the football coach. What was the question again?
That was it. What do you think of the hire of the football coach?
I mean, I think it was a great hire. You know, I was at the press conference and I've heard him talk. He's, you know, you can tell he's passionate. You can tell he has a vision. He has a plan. You know, I don't think you'll get any mixed messages with him, and I think he cares. I think he sounds like he cares for the football player and the person, and I think, you know, all great leaders have that balance of being able to get the best out of you as a player and as a person. I'm excited.
Who's your favorite player on the team?
Wow.
I can't. Who asked me that question?
Coach, he's in back, right off to the right.
My favorite player on the team.
Wow.
All of them.
Good answer.
Very good answer. Justin, we were talking about how deep this team is. What's practice like when you've got 10, 11, 12 guys that can all compete and can perform at a high level?
Yeah, I mean, it's been super competitive ever since the summer. Back in July, it's been super competitive. Like you said, we have a ton of guys who have a lot of talent, can score the ball. And I think that's what makes us so special. I think just the competitive side of it. And we know we're brothers off the court, but we're able to compete on the court, and it kind of stays in between those lines, which makes it so special. And no matter what happens in practice, no matter how much we compete, we know that when we play, in those games where we still have each other's backs, and we know that, our chemistry is never going to go away. So I think that's what makes it so special for sure.
And for all the guys there, just out of curiosity, if I were to ask individually you guys, which guy on the team has the worst taste in music, would there be a unanimous answer to that question?
Kyle.
Oh, really?
Wait, yes, and me?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we listened to the same music. We don't all listen to the same music? I'm never the one on aux, so that's just not true.
We have any other questions out there? I thought I saw another question in back. Oh, we got a couple up here.
Down in the front?
That's crazy.
Coach, how are all your players so tall?
How are all my players so tall? We recruit that way. We like to have tall players.
Who is the best dunker?
The best dunker.
Oh, boy.
Who would be the best dunker?
Oh, boy.
Benny Williams.
I vote Kyle Cuff.
Okay.
You know what? Chris Bell? No? No?
I think I'm gonna go Peter Carey.
Oh, is
That's
that
a
right?
good one. Peter Carey. That's
Yeah.
a good one. It's a good one.
We got another one down here, Paulie.
When are you gonna win a championship for us?
Yeah.
Hopefully this year.
What do you think the toughest game was this year?
I think they all have been tough. We had a tough stretch. I think the two games in Maui were really tough. I thought we played tough. We played good for stretches, but I thought the Tennessee and the Gonzaga game was really tough. And obviously Colgate. Colgate was a really tough game. We had to come back down 24. So. We've had good games, and it's good to be tested, and we've been battle tested. So I get excited when we go on the road because they know what it takes to get to be in a close game and win close games. So I'm excited about that. You need to have that to be a good team. You have to go out on a road and win. Good teams go into other people's places and beat them and win. And I think we have the makeup and the DNA because we've played on the road and we've played close games at home. So I'm excited about it.
Coach,
I like
Coach, is that something we can expect moving forward? I mean, you guys really have tested yourself in the non-conference, Hawaii and Georgetown and Oregon and, LSU with the ACC SEC Challenge. I mean, is that something we can expect moving forward, that in years to come you're going to continue to challenge yourself out of the conference?
Absolutely. I think you have to challenge yourself now. If you want to you want to get into the tournament, you want your teams to get better. And with all the, systems and net systems and ratings, you have to go out and challenge yourself. I don't like losing. I don't get good loss or bad losses, but it's real, as far as that, good losses and bad losses. And so you have to adjust your scheduling based on what the new landscape is in college basketball scheduling.
Going back there.
How long have you been playing basketball?
Me?
Yeah.
Oof. I played basketball for probably 30-something years. I started playing when my first team I was on when I was 9 years old. And it wasn't a traveling team. We just traveled around the boroughs. So that felt like a traveling team to me.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in, these guys are great, but what makes them partially great is the practice squad that they work with. Those are the ones that help these guys achieve more, I think. Do you talk with your practice squad? Do you thank them for all that they do with you guys?
I just told my practice squad to be quiet in practice because they talk too much. No, they're great. We have great walk-ons. They are part of the program, and these guys love them, and they really do a good job. They challenge us. Our walk-ons, for the most part, have all gotten better. And so they help us, some of these guys that's been with us for 2 years, the first year you couldn't watch them be on the court, and now, they're giving these guys the business. Nico be giving y'all the business.
Shut his mic off.
For JJ, who do you on the team do you think can beat you in a 1v1?
Oh boy.
Coach Autry. I can beat him in a 1v1.
Yeah, we're gonna. Me and Coach gonna lace up tomorrow and check up. We're gonna play 1v1.
I need another week. I'm just working on my conditioning right now, so give me another week.
To all of you guys in general, what do you think it takes to become a good basketball player?
I'll let Malik start first.
Just having a good work ethic, and just having the right mindset. Just being ready for basketball. Obviously, not just on the court, but just having your focus and your mindset outside of the court, just to make sure you're doing the right things before you even step on the court.
Chris?
I would just say, got to be able to sacrifice certain things, the little things.
JJ?
I would say probably 3 things: work ethic, attitude, and consistency. Actually, I'm gonna add in another one: confidence. Because you can have all those things, but if you don't believe in yourself, then you can't really implement them. So,
I want to say, no question is a dumb question. Ask any question.
I like that, Kyle. I like that.
I would just say always be a learner and a worker. Be consistent and just always look for outlets to learn more about basketball and just be locked in on and off the court.
All right, I know we're going to get to autographs here momentarily, so we're running short on time. We got one more question, then Coach, we're going to get a final thought from you. But yes, sir.
Coach, thank you for being here, by the way. The team is currently shooting 32% from the three-point line and 72% from the free throw line. What do you think you can do to get the shooting to improve as a unit?
I think I think we have really good shooters, guys that can put the ball in the hole. And I think sometimes shooting comes down to the selection and the type of shots that we get. So I'm always, and I believe in ball movement and creating opportunities for others. So I think our ball movement and being able to create some easy looks by our abilities. But ball movement is key. I think the ball moves and pops, and you get the defense rotating at you. I think that will help us. That will increase our percentages.
And more nights like last night, right? Will increase the percentages.
Oh yeah.
Coach, we're running short on time. We're going to get to autographs here momentarily, but just a final thought from you as we wrap up the Q&A portion of this.
Well, first of all, we're all thrilled to be here. I think this just is a testament to the program and to the community and the support that we have. So any chance we get to get out into the community and spend time with you guys, and it's always great. I told all these guys, during their recruiting visits, that this is the best community and support in the country. And when we have events like this, they get a chance to see you guys come out and support us. And obviously at the Dome, everyone can't come to the Dome, but that's why we try to get out and be in the community more, and you'll see us out more because we really appreciate your support, and that's what makes Syracuse a special place. So thank you.
Coach Adrian Redautry of your SU Orange basketball team. And I tell you what, we're going to divide up into 2 sets. You can see the tables on either side of the stage. We'll have Malik and Chris in red over on to my left. And then JJ and Kyle and Justin on the other table over there. And just in consideration of time to get everybody through, please, one item. If you have one item that you could have signed by the guys, that would be appreciated so we can get everybody in. But thank you to SRC, the SRC Orange Out, and thanks to Destiny USA here in the Canyon area, and thanks to the fans, obviously. Thank you, guys. And again, let's hear it for Coach Autry and the SU basketball team here on TK99 and TK105. Thank you.